when did you actually start realizing that, hey, like I could grow this thing a little bit, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you get that initial hit of dopamine. It was like, oh, 20 people like my photo. Great, let's get it to 40 or let's get it to 50, right? When did you realize that this could be something bigger?
Yeah, so I totally didn't start this page, like I said, to like grow a really large following. And I think it was probably like, honestly, last year when I started consistently posting, and I can't really remember the exact post it was, but it did really well. And that one post kind of motivated me to be like, wow, people like my content, like it's valuable. And I started having people reach out to me being like, I really like your recommendations, or I'd have mutual friends that would say like, hey, my friend told me that they really like your page, or it kind of was giving me like I was happy that I was helping people. It wasn't just for me anymore. And then you have your friends reaching out and be like, oh, that's the girl who knows all the places, like reach out to me. And I'm always so happy to like share all my favorite recommendations. And then when I started, I think my challenge was I was in a point in my life where my career, and still I prioritize I have a full-time job, and that's the challenge for me, is balancing my full-time career with doing this. It's really, finding your schedule, finding what works and how to grow, because I really do enjoy posting and enjoy, helping people. And when people, reach out to me, it's more of a boost. It's like, okay, I should keep on this and keep doing this. But yeah, it's kind of just been really motivating to see the amount of people who've, reached out to me and like it. And my partner, he's always like, oh yeah, I'm at work and so said, they see me on your food page all the time. And it's so funny because like, as much as people are like, oh, did they like say they know you in person, or like do people recognize you? It's like, not really to me directly actually, but it's almost to like everyone around me. Like, it's so funny because I'm like, I don't really go out and be like, oh, everyone will recognize me. But I've started showing my face more and more, and I've kind of noticed that like people will recognize me more. But like, yeah, it was like I really enjoy just helping and like showcasing kind of, I did it more for just to highlight these restaurants. And when these restaurants reach out or something does really well and they said like, hey, my restaurant's been booked for 2 weeks thanks to your video. That's like that feeling is so much, like, as much as it's great that my friends say like, hey, they like my food page and they get benefit from it, but when those local restaurants, especially in a time where everything is so expensive right now, and it's tough, and that restaurant reaches out and be like, you helped my restaurant so much and you gave them so much recognition, and that's the feeling. That's why I'm like, I should keep doing this.
Keith Leith of Winnipeg,
Do you have can you speak on like the balance between working a full-time job and then also the content creation side? Because content creation is also a full-time job as well. So
it is, and yeah, I think it has been a challenge. Like I tell myself, it's like, if I wasn't, and I've always been a pretty driven person. Like in my career, I'm like, if I'm doing a career, I'm doing it good, and I'm gonna try really hard, and I'm gonna put my all into it. But that's almost my downfall, because I do the same thing with my food page. Is I want to do it. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it good. But you need time, right? And there's always so much time in a day, and like there's other priorities. I have a big family that I also want to give my all to. I have my partner that I also want to give my all to, and it's really been definitely motivating to find, like, once my page started growing and getting into a routine and finding my schedule, I think now where I am in my career, I've finally been really confident in my work, and I've also been confident in finding, because I understand what I need to do in my career, and now I can understand, okay, what time do I have that I could allocate to my food page on the side. And it's really creating, a schedule that works for you. And is it exhausting? Sometimes, like, as much as I seem like very extroverted, there's like, I'm sure like everyone, even an extrovert, wants to like sit at home and watch Netflix sometimes. And I think this week I don't know how many days I don't think I had any days off. Like I'll work from like 8 to 4, and then 8 to 4 I'll have something in the evening, and I love it, but like I'm like, wow, like I just sometimes you just want to relax, and I think it is my like passion for doing this, and I'm like, I'm so lucky. Yeah. Like, you know, as much as you want to complain, it's like I'm just so lucky to have like both of these things going on. And like, if you asked me like 2 years ago if I would have had like a food page that's you know, people recognize and does really well, and also a career that you really enjoy and are really passionate about, I would look and be so proud of my like future self and who I've become. But it was not in the books, that's for sure. Yeah.
Balancing the two hats, what does the typical day look like for you in terms of, you know, getting your full-time job and then coming home and working on Prairie Spoon?
Yeah. So something else that I didn't mention is when I started Prairie Spoon, I also was really into fitness and bodybuilding, and that was it was kind of like choice too, between, it was like, do I start a fitness page? And this was when like all these fitness people were like blowing up too. Or do I start a food page? And I kind of realized it was like, you know, my food page might have more benefit to the local community, and I'm always eating food no matter what. You know, I got to work out, and like I'm gonna eat food, and like I just ended up going towards that route because I enjoyed it maybe a little bit more. Yeah.
You didn't do both?
I didn't do both pages, no, but I definitely am still like pretty into fitness, and that's still my priority. And people ask like, how do you eat so much? And like, and I do, like, I prioritize my enjoying eating out and going out, but I also really do enjoy working out. Like like it's a balance of, you know, health and wellness as well as like going out, and you're free to enjoy all the foods that you want to enjoy. Like, and I think now and still I'm going, like, I'd wake up at 5 a.m. I go to the gym in the mornings right before work. I'll head to the office, work from, you know, 8 to 4, then head home, and we'll look at my I usually use Notion for like my content creation schedule and see, okay, what do I have to make? You know, what's my priorities this week? What do I have to send in? And what can I, you know, go explore? Because I think a lot of it, once you do grow to a certain point, is you start getting a lot of like people reaching out for promos, and that my priority was never to, was always to highlight more local businesses and less do it for the money of it. And don't get me wrong, like I'll take on that, you know, promo if, you know, I see there's a fit in my niche, and I'll do that because I do enjoy going out to eat and trying out, and which costs me money. Like a lot of people ask, like, is it paid or is it unpaid? It's like majority is completely unpaid. Like I just wanted to go out, and I enjoy doing those more because it's like I just wanted to go out to try this place. Like that's what, and I don't have feeling like restrictions on, okay, I can't post this, these are the lines they want me to say, this is and I'll do that like once in a while. But I think it's really prioritizing, okay, like if I do have those paid that I took on, okay, I need to have that in for a deadline, what's the date? And you really do have to you have to find those hours in between. Like if you have an hour in between your gym session or you're going to work, like I'll try and squeeze it in there, and I'll try and allocate, like, you know, on Sundays, like 3 to 4 hours to doing it. But sometimes it takes longer than you thought, and obviously you guys would know the same. And sometimes I think, again, like I am to a certain point like a perfectionist. I want to put my all into things, and maybe I put too much time into making sure this looks a certain way or looks perfect, and then I take more time than really was necessary. So, you know, overall I enjoy what I do and I'm able to balance it. But yeah, I still, like, I'm still finding my way in balancing both. And like I tell myself, it's like, yeah, I could, you know, if I took less time doing this, I could have so much more time to you know, focus on my content creation and do that. But I think it is a balance in really creating that schedule that works for you. And right now I've kind of found my groove that works for me.